Hi, I'm Dwayne Duggan, RE/MAX of Boulder podcast. Thanks for being with us today. Today we're going to have some market updates from D.B. Wilson, who keeps track of these things here for us at RE/MAX of Boulder, keeping us all on the top of our game. Today we're going to talk first about single families and how that market is doing in both Lafayette and Louisville. So D.B., thanks for being here today. Appreciate you sharing all your wisdom with us. So let's dive in first to how the single family market is doing in Lafayette. How are those 10 things that you monitor doing?
So in any market, what we do is we do look at 10 different fields, and one is that total active listings, the median sales price, the average sales price, what the sales price to list price ratio is, in other words, how close to asking price houses are selling, what the days on the market are, total year-to-date sales, number of expired listings, how many months of inventory there are, the percentage of homes currently on the market that are under contract, and then what the interest rates are compared with a year ago.
Okay.
And all of these fields, we're looking January 2015 through August 2015, and we compare that with the year before. So same time period, January through August of 2014.
Okay, so let's dive right into Lafayette single-family homes.
Okay, so one thing that I would make sure that that everyone is aware of is that these are fairly small data points. So to give you an idea, there's only 63 active listings on the market in Lafayette at this time, compared with 71 a year ago. What's interesting about that is 68% of those are under contract. So
okay.
That's a huge number. So about 42 of those are under contract. The average sales price this year is $486,575. That compares with a year ago of a little over $431,000, so it's a 12.7% increase. And then we also look at the median price. The median price is half the sales are above and half the sales are below that, and that is $437,000, which compared with a year ago was $412,000. The sale price to list price, the average in past years has been around 97%. Give you a sense of how strong this market is, it's now 100.8%. So sellers are actually realizing more than what the list price is on a home. Average market time is 55, that's just a little bit less than a year ago, which was 58 days on the market. And we were about 5% less sales at 209 sales. Again, this is January through August, where a year ago at that time we were at 221 sales. No listing has come on the market and not sold.
In the city of Lafayette.
In the city of Lafayette. So 0 expires is a phenomenal.
Right. It wasn't that long ago we counted by the page.
Exactly. I would think that probably 2009 we would have had 200 or 300 expires
right.
at that point. Months of inventory is a stable market is considered 5 to 7 months worth of inventory. We have 2.4 months, which demonstrates a strong seller's market. If it were over 7, it would be a strong buyer's
right.
market at that point. And again, 68% of the homes currently on the market are under contract, which demonstrates that the market is continuing to show its strength here, even into the fall. Now we'd like to look at Louisville.
Sure, you bet. Single families in Louisville.
Single
same
family.
batch of statistics.
Same different categories. Again, this is a really small data point, only 50 total listings compared with 58 total listings a year ago. So it's down about 14%, of which 52% are under contract. So you've really got 26 available homes.
Wow.
Pretty small.
Not a lot to look at.
Yeah. The other thing that I think is kind of interesting, I just saw a notice on, it was either Case Shiller or from the Federal Housing Finance Agency, and it stated that only 55% of the top 300 markets are where they were in 2006, before the housing bubble. And we were so lucky here in Boulder County and these two cities included, in that our bubble, we only lost about 2%, 3% of the total value. And in looking at it, as an example, Louisville is about $200,000 more on an average sales price than it was in 2006.
So both Louisville and Lafayette, and of course Boulder, covered
Yeah.
nicely.
Yeah, actually all of Boulder County except the mountains are above where they were in 2006 at this time. But just to think that, 40% higher, maybe 50% higher than where we were in 2006, real estate has been wonderful.
Amazing.
Here. But back to the numbers, average sales price, the average sales price in Louisville is just a little over $559,000 compared with $535,000 a year ago, so about 4.5% higher. And the median price is now $520,000, which is only 3% higher, but than where it was a year ago. But just to give you a sense, that's $15,000 higher than it was a year ago. Again, the strength of the market, the sales price to list price in Louisville is 100.4%. So again, they're still getting more than asking price. Only 44 days on the market as average, so things are moving very quickly. 146 total sales, that's compared with 137 sales a year ago. So even though our inventory's been down, we actually have slightly more sales. There has been one that expired, again, not very much, and 52% of the active listings are under contract. And then just a little reflection on the interest rates. Interest rates are down about 5% from where they were a year ago.
5%?
5%, and they're down, so it's 3.92%,
Okay, right.
but 5% down from where they were a year ago.
Gotcha.
At 4.12.
Okay, thanks for those numbers. These numbers are January through August. What's your gut feel coming into the fall? Do we typically have a seasonal slowdown? I mean, again, that's kind of our prime time through August. What's your gut feel, DB?
So historically, what I would say is that the fall is a wonderful time to buy a home. It's still an active market, as evidenced by the percent that are under contract. But if you look at historical norms, the prices kind of flatline this time of year. In other words, you don't see a lot of appreciation from where we are at the end of August. And inventory will actually be slightly higher because there's fewer buyers in the market. So it's a great time to buy, but if you're a seller, it's still a good time to sell because we're still seeing quite a few showings, a little bit above historic norms. And so I think you get a lot of people through your home, and you still have to price it right, but great time to be buying.
Okay, all right.
And interest rates are still very, very low.
Yeah, so look at our career, boy, it's still the lowest it's
Yeah.
been in years. So,
Exactly.
DB, thank you for being here today.
Sure.
Appreciate you being here.
You bet.
Dwayne Duggan, RE/MAX Boulder Podcast, signing off.